Hey guys, Movie Junkie for Life here, and this is going to be my review of Deepwater Horizon. Now, Deepwater Horizon is based on a true story of the oil spill that took place in April of 2010. And it stars Mark Wahlberg and Kate Hudson, as well as Kurt Russell and Dylan O'Brien. Um, can't remember who the director is, but I'll look it up for you guys. So, like I said, it's based on a true story. It's considered the worst oil spill in the history of the United States. As a matter of fact, I believe some people say the effects of that spill is still being felt up to now. So, Deepwater Horizon. Now, this is not a movie I really wanted to see a lot. It seemed to come out of nowhere. The story, as important as it is not one that I was really drawn to. So I kind of went into this just, you know what, it's a new movie. There's nothing else that I haven't really seen that I want to see. So why not check it out? And I'm happy to say that this movie was really good. I did not expect anything going in. I didn't really know anything about the backstory. And this movie turned out to be really, really good. First of all, the cast. Everybody here brought their A game. I found out that Mark Wahlberg actually stayed in character the entire time that he was doing the in between takes and stuff like that. So he took this really seriously. And even the story itself, the survivors of that explosion of what happened on that rig, a lot of them didn't want the movie made because they felt like it was dishonoring the dead. But the character that Mark Wahlberg is playing, the actor he's playing, Mike. Sorry, not the actor he's playing. The person he's playing, I think his name is Mike. He felt like, no, this was a story that needed to be told. People needed to know what went on. And you know what? I agree, because I don't think the average person would really have any idea the scope of how bad this was and how much of human greed had to play a part in it by the BP and the other directors and whatever, who they got the safety results, the safety inspection results, they ignored it. They just wanted to get the rig producing oil, and they didn't care that it hadn't passed all the safety inspection tests and all these sorts of things. So it really had a lot of human factors into why this disaster happened. The movie itself is done in a way that I felt was action packed. It was full of tension. I mean, this thing went off. I love the description where Mark Wahlberg's daughter in the movie, she talks about, and I know they do it to explain to the audience what happened, but basically it's like she's saying that the oil is a monster, and this is a monster that has been compressed by the earth and the ocean, and it wants to get out. So once you drill into that, that monster is looking for any way to get out. So it was a perfect description, the way they played it out in the beginning, to show you what went really, really wrong here, and the kind of power and pressure that is in that earth, that once you drill into that, what it is you're tapping into. They talk about, it was like something like 1351, if I'm remembering correctly, psi of pressure, enough pressure to tear your car in half. And this is what came out of these guys. This rig just went nuclear. It was insane, that to me, that people actually survived this event. Mark Wahlberg did such a great job here, I think, because he's really good. Sometimes he's really good in his roles, and sometimes he's okay, and then sometimes he's Max Payne. Here he was on point. I think he really you could tell he really cared about this role. He cared about how these people were portrayed, and it shows here. And like I said, guys, the action, I was caught off guard. This movie is so thrilling and so suspenseful, and you want these people to survive, and you want them to get out, and it seems so terrifying, because I guess because it's real. So the visuals here were really well done. They actually built an oil rig for this movie, guys. They actually built the rig. So I think they said it's like the largest set ever built. They built this rig to blow it up. So it's an amazing, really well shot movie. Very tense, once the action hits. Even before the action hits, you get that feeling of urgency because these guys are working in conditions that they really shouldn't. You know, there's this another scene where Mike is brought into a meeting by the executives, by his boss, who's telling him, well, you know, tell them how many things need to be fixed on the ship. And I think he rattles off like a number, like maybe 300 and something. And they're feeling cocky, so they're like, oh, how much of that is important? And he started to list off one by one how much stuff was not working properly on that rig. So these guys were working in really bad conditions, you know, and they all have families, they have people depending on them. And when you see the devastation of this thing, I think this spill went on for like 80 something days, and the effects are still being felt in the oceans and in the on land, and entire coral bases have been destroyed. Sorry. So, you know, this movie, it's not just another action movie. While it's done in a way that, you know, visually will appeal to action fans, this is a movie about so much more, about the devastation that takes place when these things happen on these rigs. And I'm not saying this is a norm, you know, this is not something that happens all the time, thank God. But, you know, these people, these executives, these people in power really need to pay attention, and hopefully, you know, look at, you know, with this movie being out now, really pay attention to when these things happen, how to ensure that it doesn't happen again. You know, you can't let figures and money make you not pay attention to the devastation, not just to the people on the rig and their lives and their family lives, but what you're doing to the world. You know, it's one freaking planet. As much as we are exploring space and it's exciting and it's awesome, the possibilities are endless. At the same time, none of that shit is going to happen anytime soon. So this right here, this we have to make work and make last, you know. So all that being said, guys, I really, really enjoyed this movie. I think everybody else would enjoy this movie. Yes, it's a true story, but it's not a boring true story. It's very exciting. It's very heartfelt. It's wonderful. It's well acted. The pacing is great. I never felt bored watching this movie. So overall, I'm going to give Deepwater Horizon a 7 out of 10. It's in cinemas now. You guys can go check it out. And I don't think you'll be disappointed. Deepwater Horizon gets a 7 out of 10. Okay guys, till next time. Bye bye.